news coming in has to do with the TMC chief and West Bengal chief minister, whose hearing is taking place in the Supreme Court over SIR. Mamata Banerjee has said the problem is always that lawyers have been fighting since the beginning, but in the end, we are not getting justice anywhere. So many times I have written to the ECI, and then Mamata Banerjee points out that she's written to the ECI, the Election Commission of India, 6 times, but still there has been no reply from them. Justice is crying behind closed doors. Saurabh joins me on the story. Saurabh, just take us through what's happening inside the top court with Mamata.
Perhaps hasn't seen in a long time a sitting chief minister making her point, filing a petition and making her point in front of the bench led by the Chief Justice of India in the Supreme Court. Now, Mamata Banerjee requested for 5 minutes of the court's time to make her point. The Chief Justice said, we will give you 15. That's what my colleague Nupur Dogra is reporting from inside the court. And in fact, as the hearing progresses, Mamata Banerjee says, respected CJI, sir, I am giving you one example. I will submit photographs being published all over Bengal newspapers. In fact, the Chief Justice is also making an observation during the hearing. He has said that we agree on the issue being raised by issue being raised by Mamata Banerjee is genuine. We also don't want people to be excluded because of language problems and spelling mismatches. So a big observation from the Chief Justice of India during the hearing, where Mamata Banerjee, the West Bengal Chief Minister, is arguing or putting forward her point, at least in the court, in terms of the petition that has been filed. In fact, Mamata Banerjee says ECI has deleted a daughter's name who is using her in-laws' name after marriage. Daughter changes her residence post-marriage, but they put her in logical discrepancy. EC is violating your order, Supreme Court order. This is what Mamata Banerjee says. Mamata Banerjee, of course, informing the Supreme Court that why is the EC not accepting Aadhaar card despite your orders? More than 100 people have died. So many BLOs have committed suicide. Why not SIR in Assam? They are targeting West Bengal. So the political point that Mamata Banerjee has been making, that the SIR is not taking place in BJP-ruled states, but only in opposition-ruled states. And both Assam and West Bengal go to polls, but it's happening only in West Bengal, not in neighboring Assam. That's the point, of course, Mamata Banerjee is saying. Now, the Chief Justice is saying the Aadhaar card issue we cannot comment now because we have reserved our judgment on that. In fact, this is, of course, an exchange between the Chief Justice of India and the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. Something unprecedented, something I don't think there's a precedence for in terms of court proceedings. But you see the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, and my colleague Nupur Dogra bringing us all those details from inside the court on NDTV here. As the Chief Minister explains to Mamata Banerjee on the other issue, why he cannot comment, because they've already reserved the judgment on that issue. But Chief Minister, of course, in appearing in person in her petition against the SIR, the political showdown over the SIR has come to Delhi. First, it was the Election Commission. Then it was, of course, that press conference with the victims of SIR that Mamata Banerjee held yesterday. And today, of course, in the Supreme Court of India, where Mamata Banerjee has appeared in person in this hearing against the SIR.
Right, do stay with me. I'm also going to get Hrithik Mandal into this conversation. But just very quickly, let's take you through some of the points that Mamata Banerjee is making inside court. As Saurabh just pointed out, some big charges against the Election Commission. She said over 100 are dead during SIR. And she's also raised the BLO suicide issues, which is the block level officers issues inside the top court. And she has made a big charge saying that Bengal has been targeted. Remember, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is appearing in the Supreme Court right now for the petition filed by her against the SIR process in West Bengal. The matter is before a bench led by the Chief Justice of India, Surya Kant. Mamata Banerjee has filed a writ petition in the Supreme Court against the Election Commission of India, challenging the SIR process ongoing in the state. And this petition was filed on the 28th, stating that the ongoing process will result in large-scale disenfranchisement caused by the opaque, hasty, unconstitutional and illegal actions of the ECI. Those big comments coming in, those big observations also coming in at this point. Hrithik Mandal joining me live. Hrithik, Mamata Banerjee had already taken this fight to the national capital when it comes to the SIR, which is, of course, the biggest issue when it comes to the upcoming state elections in West Bengal. She wants the 2025 list to be followed. That's the bottom line. That's the fight she has. And she says that West Bengal is being targeted. That's her allegation because of the elections that's coming up.
Well, historic and dramatic, what is exactly unfolding in the Supreme Court, and what we do know that Mamata Banerjee has pleaded for the people of Bengal. She said over 100 of people have lost their life, and Election Commission is acting as a tool of Bharatiya Janata Party. They have alleged that there is some discrepancies in the role of the Election Commission as well. Only Bengal is being targeted. I am being joined by Bimal Shankar Nando, BJP leader. Remember today's appearance of Mamata Banerjee on behalf of people of Bengal before the apex court has jolted Bengal politics. We need to understand how the BJP is going to react. We're gonna live go across to Bimal Shankar Nando. Sir, we know that it is a big day. Mamata Banerjee is pleading before the Supreme Court, and she has went on record, said that over 100 people have lost their life, and there are a lot of discrepancies being done in the role of Election Commission as well. What is your take on this?
No, every day is a big day. How do you say that today is a big day? It may be big day for you, but not for me. It's normal like other days. Listen, it's a desperate attempt on the part of a failed leader to attract the people of the West Bengal that she thinks about the people, which is absolutely wrong. West Bengal is reeling under poverty, reeling under, corruption, everything. It's going to the bullock cartage. West Bengal is just going back to bullock cartage. She has nothing to show the people that she has become successful in such and such.
BJP is going to say today's development in the national capital when a chief minister, first ever in the history, appearing on behalf of for the people of Bengal before apex court.
She is not appearing for the people of Bengal. She is appearing for herself and for her own party. She demands that voter list of 2025 should be retained. What a demand! That just think about it. Not a single person should be deleted from voter list.
More details from what's happening inside the top court at this point. Saurabh Gupta is still with us. Saurabh, just take us through the conversations, what Mamata Banerjee is still saying, what the court is saying at this point on this big SR face-off that Mamata Banerjee has taken to India's top court.
That's right, Indra. In fact, my colleague Nupur has been bringing us all these details from inside the courtroom. This is, of course, the courtroom of the Chief Justice of India. This is a bench of the Chief Justice of India and Justice Jamala Bakshi. And what we know is that the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, the Honorable Chief Minister, is making a few points. And this is, of course, in line with what she said earlier. She's saying that they say Aadhaar, we want with another certificate. In other states, domicile, caste certificate, etc., nothing is allowed. They have only targeted West Bengal on the eve of election. They want to do something in 2 months, which takes 2 years. When people are out, they did it. BLOs committed suicide. They blamed election officials. It is because of the harassment West Bengal is targeted. Why not Assam? Why not Assam? And of course, this is a question that has been raised in the past, that if there is the need for an SIR in Bengal, surely there could be a need for an SIR in Assam as well. Of course, the two states may have different circumstances, but what the Chief Minister is saying, that look, Assam is a poll-bound state too. Polls will take place same time. It's a neighboring state. That state also has a border and a porous border. But what is happening is that the SIR is only happening in West Bengal, not in Assam. She is making the point that BJP-ruled states are not being, covered under the SIR. It's only opposition-ruled states, is what she's saying. And that's the gist of her argument. And of course, then she's gone on to make those points in her petition, which of course her lawyer has argued.
Yes.
But of course, remember, she asked only for 5 minutes. The Chief Justice said that we would give you 15, and that's where it is now. My colleague Nupur, of course, bringing us all these details from inside the court.
All right, stay with me. I'm going to go back to Ritik, because Ritik, you also have Mamata Banerjee coming out and saying that micro-observers have been appointed from the BJP-ruled states to delete the names. How is this really playing out in the state of Bengal? And what has the response of the BJP been to this very serious allegation made by West Bengal Chief Minister?
Well, this is what you do understand, this is one of the significant, point of Mamata Banerjee's plea before the Supreme Court. She has pointed out that multiple special observers being appointed by the Election Commission at different parts of Bengal are intentionally, creating problem with regard to this whole exercise. Remember, in past few months, we did see when the several special observers were touring Bengals and they faced, obstacle. They faced, the protest by the people of Bengal and particularly by the people of Trinamool Congress Party. Now, Mamata Banerjee wants these special observers have been appointed by Election Commission should be removed because they feel that the entire process is being disturbed by these people in order to make benefits for certain party under this process. So it's a very significant point, but TM's, as far the BJP is concerned, from the very beginning and till today, the main opposition party, Bharatiya Janata Party, maintained their claim. They said that in order to shield the illegal migrant who have been considered as a key vote bank of Mamata Banerjee party, those vote bank propel Mamata Banerjee into the power. They want to shield these people, and the Trinamool Congress-led government don't want these people should be removed following this process, which is why Mamata Banerjee is battling for these people only. So they want a clean SIR process to be done with due process, and they want this election to take place after the final list of SIR being going to be published by the Election Commission. On the other hand, you have heard that Mamata Banerjee wants the election following the previous electoral roll. So it's a tough time, it's a difficult time, and very significant, historic. As I earlier also mentioned, that as per the people of Bengal is concerned, watching on television that their chief minister who hails from Bengal is reaching to the apex court, trying to put their
right, and Ritik, do stay with me. Going back to Saurabh Gupta, who is getting information from inside the top court at this hour. Saurabh, you have a very passionate West Bengal Chief Minister speaking just till a few moments ago, and then you have the Chief Justice of India requesting her to let Sham Diwan speak, the senior advocate on her behalf. And then Mamata Banerjee goes on to say that the SR process, through it, they are bulldozing West Bengal. Okay, that's a big breaking news coming in. The Supreme Court has issued a notice on Mamata Banerjee's plea to the Election Commission. Saurabh, the latest.
That's right. My colleague Nupur Dogra bringing us all the latest from inside the court. The Supreme Court has issued a notice on Mamata Banerjee's plea to the Election Commission of India. Now, of course, please protect the people's rights, sir. Mamata Banerjee tells the Supreme Court with folded hands. This is, of course, taking place inside the Supreme Court, and these are developments that my colleague Nupur Dogra is reporting from inside the court. Mamata Banerjee continues to speak. She says, sir, they are bulldozing West Bengal. Supreme Court slammed the EC over notice to renowned author of West Bengal, is what my colleague Nupur is reporting. Supreme Court has also issued a notice on Mamata Banerjee's plea, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's plea to the Election Commission of India. And of course, the Mamata Banerjee saying, please protect the people's rights, sir. Mamata Banerjee with folded hands before the Supreme Court of India. That's the latest. My colleague Nupur, of course, getting us all those details. A notice has been issued to the Election Commission of India. Remember, Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee have both raised this point. In fact, making the point that a three-term Chief Minister elected by the people has written 6 letters to the Chief Election Commissioner. Not one has been replied to. Forget a reply, not one has even been acknowledged by the Chief Election Commissioner. And that's one of the reasons why they say they will go to the court. And Mamata Banerjee, of course, moving that petition before the court. And now, of course, you have the court issuing a notice to the Election Commission of India.
Saurabh, that one moment that also Nupur has captured and told us about, which is Mamata Banerjee speaking to the Supreme Court with folded hands and saying, please protect the people. This one image and what she is requesting for, imploring for, also points to the fact, Saurabh and Ritik, I'm going to go to Saurabh first, how she is the face of the anti-SR process. It was Rahul Gandhi to a certain time and point, but it is Mamata Banerjee ahead of the West Bengal elections, being the feisty self that she is, holding on to this fight against the BJP to the Election Commission of India over SIR. Saurabh.
Well, let's take a look at the politics behind this and the political significance of this. Mamata Banerjee is a seasoned politician, and that is, of course, also being seen in the way she's handled this. With folded hands coming before the people, she is projecting this as a battle of the people, which she is fighting on behalf of the people. That's the narrative that Trinamool Congress is aggressively pushing out. If you see the imagery, if you see the photographs, if you see Mamata Banerjee appearing with folded hands, it's almost like that the battle is being fought on behalf of the people of Bengal in the Supreme Court by Mamata Banerjee. That's the narrative that Trinamool Congress is building. The BJP is countering that narrative with the fact that no, she's protecting a vote bank, that this is, not something that is for the people of Bengal, that she's detrimental to the interests of Bengal, all of that. But in terms of narrative building, political narrative building ahead of the elections, this is also taking place in the Supreme Court. And Mamata Banerjee, while making arguments, legal arguments against the SIR, which are very valid, there are some cases where I've explained this on air as well. Banerjee and Bandyopadhyay, Chatterjee and Chattopadhyay, Mukherjee and Mukhopadhyay, Dasgupta with a space, Dasgupta without a space, Sengupta with a space, Sengupta without a space. All of these are discrepancies that would be flagged by an algorithm. But we all know in Bengal it means the same thing. It's not a different name. It's the same name. And that's something that this is about also in terms of specifically the logical discrepancies, something that the Chief Justice of India also acknowledged. So this is a political battle. It's taking place legally, it's taking place politically, it's also taking place with the Election Commission, and Mamata Banerjee playing it on all three fronts ahead of elections. This is, of course, something that we will see, and this battle is only likely to escalate in the days to come.
All right, do stay with me. Priyanka Tibrawal joining me on the phone line as well here on Breaking Ground. Ms. Tibrawal, you have Mamata Banerjee speaking inside India's top court, the Supreme Court, and she has claimed that the SR process through the Election Commission is bulldozing the state of West Bengal. Your comment?
Yes, we saw that, and we also saw that the Supreme Court did not appreciate the political submissions which were being made by Ms. Banerjee. That is the reason that the Supreme Court pointed out that Mr. Diwan is the best counsel whom the state of West Bengal and Mamata Banerjee had hired, and it said that he can argue everything and she need not, try to make political speeches there. See, we have seen, and we are absolutely fine with the process, with the logical process, with the constitutional process, the way things are going on, and that should be appreciated by all. Why is it not being appreciated by Mamata Banerjee? That is the question. Now, Mamata Banerjee thought that she will go and say that, Election Commission should do this, they should not do that. She also questioned the Section 30 validity of appointment, which the Election Commission has done for the Group D officers, because Mamata Banerjee did not provide enough officers to the Election Commission. So they have, in law, the right to make the appointment, which she wanted to cancel the appointment of micro-observers. Court immediately understood the same, and then they told Mamata Banerjee.
If I could just interject here, in the plea, Mamata Banerjee also goes on to say, why only Bengal and not Assam?
You have very well seen that the court did not appreciate any kind of political submissions made by Mamata Banerjee, and they said that in order to the Aadhaar card or the domicile certificate, the order is reserved and hence they will not speak anything. So we can well understand that what is the court trying to explain to Mamata Banerjee, that these kind of political theatrics will not be allowed.
All right, Ms. Tibrawal, thanks for joining me there from the BJP. Priyanka Tibrawal on the phone line with us here on Breaking Ground. The latest is that the Supreme Court has issued a notice for a response to the Election Commission on Mamata Banerjee's plea. That's the latest that we have for you. The question she's raised is, why no SR in Assam? Saurabh Gupta and Ritik Mondal standing by. Saurabh, coming to you, if you could very quickly recap all that Mamata Banerjee has said inside the top court today on her plea and all that she said on the SR process and why it's dangerous for her state.
Well, Mamata Banerjee, the latest is that she's just left the Supreme Court precincts. In fact, she drove out just a short while ago as we were speaking. And of course, she argued quite loudly in her own style. That's her, the signature style that she speaks. And she made her point before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also at some point advised her to let Mr. Sham Devan, who is of course the counsel appointed by her to argue. But when she's requested the court for 5 minutes, the Chief Justice said, we will give you 15. And, obviously she is an elected Chief Minister, 3-term Chief Minister. She's moved this petition. The Trinamool is billing this as a fight on behalf of the people of West Bengal that Mamata Banerjee is fighting for. The BJP, of course, countering that with saying that, the SIR is necessary, that West Bengal's elections are compromised if, a voter list that's not clean is allowed to vote. The Trinamool saying this is a process you cannot complete in 2 months. It takes 2 years. Do it after the elections if you have to. Why rush through it and disenfranchise legitimate voters? The BJP says that, there are Rohingyas, there are illegal voters, infiltrators who've managed documents. Why should they vote in an Indian election? So you'll have this back and forth. And the Mamata Banerjee, of course, making her points in the Supreme Court, pointing out especially that one argument about the micro observers. That is one part. Then, of course, the BLOs, these observers superseding the officials who have the power as per the Representation of People's Act. And the third point, of course, the logical discrepancies, which is the single biggest issue. Like I said, Mukhopadhyay Mukherjee, Bandopadhyay Banerjee, or those discrepancies that an algorithm or a machine will pick up. But in reality, those are not really differences. They are the same name, different versions of the same name in different languages.
Right. And Ritik, you also have Mamata Banerjee saying 58 lakh names deleted. They didn't even have the option to appeal. How are the people of West Bengal reacting to these claims being made by Mamata Banerjee? At this point, she, of course, has taken that fight to not only the national capital, but to India's top court. At this point, you have the BJP coming out and defending it. But 58 lakhs is a huge number that she claims have just been deleted without the option of appeal.
That so far my understanding of Bengal politics goes, what we do understand at this point in time, that Mamata's appearance before the apex court, before the top court, and pleading for the people of Bengal would have its own and very significant remark and impact in the upcoming election. Remember, as Saurabh rightly pointed out, Mamata Banerjee, we would have all agreed that Mamata Banerjee is known for such kind of politics, and the way she argued before the top court today, she is known for that. But the people of Bengal, remember that they are also they are banking on this thing, that Mamata Banerjee, who hails from Bengal, she represents Bengali people. Those are really undergoing a tremendous pressure because they
interrupting feel that there, Nupur has just come out of the Supreme Court. Nupur, you were inside. You saw a very feisty Mamata Banerjee speak. Just take us through what happened. Very, very passionate with her fight in the top court on the SIR process. Nupur. Nupur, can you hear me? All right.
बोलिए सर
सर आप प्रेम दे दो
আজকে মাননীয় প্রধান বিচারপতির ঘরে মমতা ব্যানার্জি যে পিটিশন ফাইল করেছিল, রিট পিটিশন, সেই মামলার হিয়ারিং হয়েছে এবং সেই মামলার সঙ্গে আরো অন্যান্য যে মামলাগুলো রয়েছে, দোলার মামলা, ডেরেকের মামলা এবং জয় গোস্বামীর মামলা, এই তিনটে মামলাই হিয়ারিং হয়েছে। তো হিয়ারিং হওয়ার পর মমতা ব্যানার্জি তার আর্গুমেন্ট করেছেন, কোর্ট পারমিশন দিয়েছে এবং কোর্ট বলেছে যে তুমি যতক্ষণ বলবে আমরা শুনবো, 15 মিনিট দরকার হলে শুনবো। এবং মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় তার পয়েন্টগুলো
told that they
এক নম্বর পয়েন্ট যেটা বলেছে,
permission to speak Mamata Banerjee inside the top court.
ইনক্লুশন হচ্ছে না, ইনক্লুশনটাও দরকার।
Mamata Banerjee has said there are only deletions taking place, but no inclusion of the new voters are being taking place.
আইনে কোথাও জায়গা নেই যে মাইক্রো অবজারভার
There is no
এবং রোল
place
অবজারভার
in the
অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট
law
করার
for the micro observer,
তিন নম্বর
role
হচ্ছে,
observer, or be
এই যে
it the
logical
special
discrepancy,
observer. Mamata Banerjee
বলে
has
যে যেগুলো কোনো
pleaded before the top
ছোট
court.
ছোট ছোট মিস্টেক, যেমন খান, বাবার নাম খান লিখেছিল আলাউদ্দিন খান, এখন এসছে আলাউদ্দিন
Under the
খান।
logical discrepancies,
তার
there are
mistake
very
এটা তো election commission
minimum
mistake,
mistakes
তার
are
জন্য
being
লোককে arrest
highlighted
করা হবে।
during
এরকম
this hearing process, through which
বিপুল
that names of
লসাগরাই বলেছে।
many people have been
বলেছে যে
changed,
বিপুল,
and people are
কিন্তু
facing a lot
বাংলাতে
of
উচ্চারণ তো
difficulties.
বিপুল, তা সেটা কি করে মিসম্যাচ হয়? তারপর মহিলারা যাদের বিয়ে হয়ে গেছে, যাদের সারনেম চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে, তাদের কি করে
Mamata Banerjee has flagged off
Mismatch
the,
হয়।
algorithm,
বিয়ে হয়ে গেলে তো
Bengali
সারনেম চেঞ্জ
algorithm
হবেই।
and its mismatches, which is a
তারপরে
genuine and
আছে
practical concern before
Death
the
person।
top court.
150 জন লোক মারা গেছে, সে কথাও বলেছে।
Several charges there being leveled by Mamata Banerjee inside the Supreme Court of India. The topmost being Bengal is being targeted, and a 2-year exercise is being completed in just 2 months. Mamata Banerjee representing her state in that plea that she had moved the Supreme Court.